Back. It's Monday Club. Today
Hello.
we've got Nico in the house. We've got Summer back after the Christmas break. Oh, well, it's been a couple of weeks now. Anyway, so today we got a topic. Customer won't pay is our topic.
Customer refusing to pay. We'll get both in there for the algorithm. You know what I'm saying?
I don't really know about algorithm, even though I've been researching it for like weeks and weeks. Anyway, we're back. It's Monday, and we are talking about customer won't pay. So, Nico, I know this is your forte.
Also, happy Tuesday, everyone.
No, it's just Monday.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Yeah, sorry, it's
Before we
Monday.
start, Monday Club merch available. Come on. Like, come on.
Oh, it's on the back as well.
Yeah,
It's on the back.
So, Sam, before we start, tell everyone the story about the t-shirts, please.
Well, listen, I put in an order for t-shirts for people, friends of the show, and the hosts and stuff. And it's like everyone's came apart from Nick. So I sent them all out this week. Everyone's got a t-shirt. Some have got 2 t-shirts. So someone's got a Le Spark t-shirt and a Monday Club t-shirt. And Nick's not one of them. He's got no t-shirts.
Did you even send him a Spark one?
No, man. Like, they're more expensive because they're embroidered.
Why can't I have one?
Because I've got to be honest with you, it cost me like 200 quid, and I was just like, I'm not spending no more money.
Cool. So I just buy my own, yeah?
No, I'll send you one when I get paid. What do you want from me? They haven't even got sponsors anymore. Like, I don't know what you want.
Yeah. So I did a video February last year, a customer refusing to pay. It was to do with the estate agents and doing EICRs. And we obviously put a report in. We did a very good, competent report. If you ever watched the video, we take pictures.
Who said it was good?
Me and 400,000 other people, actually.
No, that's a video. But who said your EICR report was good and competent?
Myself. I pride myself on the stuff that me and Adam do. Like, it's difficult for us now, being in the limelight with it all. We need to make sure every box is ticked. We need to make sure everything's swept up. Like, I'm not saying that we wouldn't before, but now people are watching. Let's say Sparks around our area. My daughter's about to come in now as well. So my biggest viewed video on YouTube is customer refusing to pay. It was put out February last year, and it was to do with EICRs and a landlord that thought our certificate, I had that many messages on it, but people were saying he was just trying to get away with it, where he was just trying to say we did a false certificate and there's nothing wrong with it. So he got his own electrician in, blah, 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 blah. It was £140 that it was. And jokes on him, really, because the video I did made just shy of £1,800 revenue on YouTube. So I win.
I need one of them. I need one of those.
Yeah.
But what was wrong with your EICR?
Because it failed. Sorry, it was an unsatisfactory. If you watch the video, there was rust inside the fuse board, rust on the buzz bar on the top of the MCBs where water had got in it. It was in an outside cab on the outside of a house where the board was. There was holes all across the top. Cables drooping. Literally, there was a bit of, I think it was 10 mil earth below the front door, which was just not clipped whatsoever. There was loose cables in the pantry. There was no earth on any of the lighting. And he went around and sent a picture back where he took one of the switches off the wall, and he was like, yes, there's an earth there. I was like, yes, there's an earth there. It's not connected to anything, mate. And you've got metal fittings everywhere. And this went back and forth. And at the end, it was like, do you take him to small claims court for over 140 quid, or do I just nip it in the bud and go, tell you what, mate, whatever, do whatever you want?
Never darken my door.
All because you just said it was unsatisfactory.
Yeah, that was all it was. And I gave him the offer to come round his house and round the house when he was there to show him and run him through it. That was the offer, because I wanted to make sure that it was like the first time that someone's really queried the EICR. And I was like, well, I don't want that against my name. And I thought it would be the good thing. He's only around the corner. I nipped round, show him around it. He's having none of it. And just said we were lying about it all. And the estate agents were on my side with it. But what is the annoying thing is, even though I get the work for the estate agents, if I was to work for him, I would invoice the estate agents and then they take the money from the landlord. So they don't have a pot of money. They just pay me out and then get the money back. It's all the way through the system. So my invoice travels through the chain. Then he pays to the estate agents and then they take their cut and then it comes to me. Yeah, that was my very, very recent of non-paying customers. I've had one years and years ago, but I'll talk about it later because my door's opening again.
It's all right. Listen, Summer, have you ever
Okay,
not
that's
been
fine.
paid for working?
I worked for a guy who was just like helping him out for the day, and he didn't pay me. So it was the first time I worked for him. I met him on Instagram and went and worked for him.
Outside.
And
Listen, a lot of you girls get offers to go and work with people off of Instagram, didn't you? Because I know Amy gets quite a lot, or she
Yeah.
did. I think Kimmy does as well. How often do you get that then?
I don't take it up very often. I don't really like jobbing about too much. I like to stick with the same people.
So
it's nice to go out and get experience with others, but half the time it's people that I haven't spoke to and I don't know them.
Yeah, no, I get you. What about, what did you do for him?
So I literally just went and helped him out one Saturday, and so I drove to his, and then when I went to go pick up my car, like to go home, he said, if I send my details now, it'll be in my bank before I get home, blah, 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 blah. And it wasn't. So I was like, message him when I got in. I was like, oh, thanks for having me today. Like, enjoyed working with you, blah, blah, blah. And then it got to a few days later, and our message was like, oh, are you going to pay me?
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't like asking for money. I feel really awkward asking for money. Like,
you get used to it, genuinely.
Yeah, but when you're not used to having to ask for it, because people normally tend to pay when they say they will, it's kind of awkward when you have to ask. And it got to the point that it had been like a good few weeks. He was ignoring my calls, and no, I called him and he ignored me. And then I sent him a few text messages, and then I called him again and he picked up and he asked who it was. So he's obviously deleted all my number and everything. And I was like, it's me, like, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it'll be in your bank by the time, like, it'll be in your bank today, blah, 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 blah. So I gave him 3 days and a text in between that as well. Again, so there's been multiple times. So in the end, I weren't going to out him on Instagram because that's not fair. But I just put on there, what would you guys do if somebody didn't pay you when they've agreed to multiple times? 5 minutes and it was in my account.
Oh, is it? Power of social media.
But I wouldn't ever out someone because that's. But I gave him enough opportunities.
So I was going to ask you to out him on this.
Do we know who it is? Do we follow him?
I don't know. I'll have a look later.
Would we know who he is?
No, he's not anyone.
Oh, okay.
Be like
CJR. Chris, what have you
Chris
done?
CJR, yeah, definitely.
What have you done,
Yeah,
mate? Come on.
But, so for me, I've spoken about this a million times back on the old podcast. Probably haven't covered it much on Monday Club. So, years and years ago, I set up a union for subcontracting electricians in London. So, you've obviously got your domestic sparks, work for one-man bands and stuff like that, like Nick, work for themselves, do what they're doing. Then you have labour-only subcontractors, like myself and some. Well, not so much anymore. Some you're self-employed.
You're a boss manager now, aren't you?
Yeah, and then now I'm PAYE, cards in. Yeah, so I'm doing that now. But years ago, I was subbing and stuff like that, and I set up quite successful for a period of time union called the Electrical Workers Branch, and I was so sick and tired of being treated badly as a subby in London and getting knocked by agencies and stuff like that. And it made me want to start up this union. And so I did. And we had like several hundreds members at one point. But I was the only person who could get people paid. So what would happen is they'd work for an agency or something like that, and the agency wouldn't pay them properly, and then they'd query it. And what the agencies tended to do was just keep going, denying it. and then hope the problem goes away. And a lot of the time, people will just take the hit. People lose a week's money and stuff like that. But with this agent, with the union that I started up, I was getting people's money recovered, and I made a bit of a name for myself. And then it was about 2 months before Christmas. It was when they was building the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I don't know anything about football, but they was building Tottenham Stadium, and it was a massive job, billions and billions of pounds. And I was contacted by, I think it was 8 people who had been knocked like a month's money. And on that job, that was quite a lot. I think it was something like £6,000 to £8,000 each had been knocked. And what it was, an agency had gone under, and the company who was paying the agency was like, "Well, boy, we don't have to pay no one. We like our contracts with the agency. They've gone under. We're not paying no one." So these 8 people were like, some had families, some had holidays booked and stuff like that.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. It was a lot of money they was banking on for Christmas. So I took it up. So I was like, I'll see what I can do. And to this day, right, it's something I'm very proud of, but I, to this day, don't know how I did it. What I done was, I got them all together, I got all the details, got everything sorted out, and I sat there and I come up with this strategy of how I'm going to get these people paid. I wanted to do it. So I managed to get in contact with the company, spoke to the guy, and he goes, "We ain't paying no one. You jump up and down all you like. Take us to court. We ain't paying no one." And I knew that I'm not going to be able to get them to court. I'm not going to be able to get them to court and get these guys paid. How am I going to do it? So the first thing I did is I phoned up. Our union had quite good connections with the Guardian. Spoke to this geezer at the Guardian, and he ran a story on it. Tottenham Hotspur have got like a press corps, like a press thing where they sort of squash stories and anything negative and all that. So he got phoned up and he's like, "Oh, I'm getting a lot of grief." Anyway, so I then phoned up the Sun newspaper, the sports editor at the Sun newspaper, and they rolled with it. And then I was interviewed. So I was interviewed at Starbucks near the Ritz Hotel in London. So I was working around the corner. They come to me, was interviewed, done this whole thing, gave all this speech about it and all this stuff. I was in the Sun. You can still Google it now about Tottenham Hotspur not paying their workers and stuff. Then it got picked up by Talk Sport, and I'd done an interview on Talk Sport that night, and it was blowing up. It was blowing up. People, like, I was getting phone calls from different like news agencies and stuff, and doing like little interviews, and it was really, I was like, wow, this is going somewhere. And then I phoned up the guy. I can't remember what company it was or what the guy's name was, and I said to him, like, we was affiliated with this union called the IWGB, and they're like left-wing lunatics. But one thing they done better than any other union is they could mobilize 200 people like that to go and stand outside, like a bunch of hippies going to stand outside serving Thai green curry and just causing an issue. Couple days later, so I phoned him up and I said, "Right, I know that you guys have got a day of familiarization where you're going to have 7,000 hardcore Tottenham Spurs fans come down to the stadium to have a look round and see what time it is." I said, "I will have 200 Thai green curry eating hippies protesting at every entrance on that day. You owe these people the money." And they was like, "Let me see what we can do." And at the time, I was quite friendly with some agencies. We had made some alliances with agencies to get better rates and all kinds of stuff. And so I spoke to one of the agencies, and I got them to facilitate the payment because it just makes it easier. So in the end, we got the company to pay one of these agencies. They paid them in 2 installments. I think it totaled to about 70 grand all in, and got everyone paid a month before Christmas. It was
Nice. Well done.
it was like, that was like my crowning achievement of the union. But yeah, I got people paid up. And when we totaled up the year's earnings, sorry, not earnings, the year's I think it's about over 18 months. We recovered something like 100 grand in unpaid wages for electricians in London. A big chunk of it was that, but some would like. Sometimes I'd just be phoning up getting people like a couple £100 back. Sometimes it'd be like a week's money, 1,200 quid and stuff like that. It was really good, but I was doing it at my own detriment. So I was like doing all this sort of stuff, and then whilst I was at work, so I'd just be sliding off, making phone calls, and like
now then, yeah.
yeah, worse, way worse. But the thing is, I'd phone up and I'd be like, yeah, we're the electrical workers branch. We're a union for electricians. We've submitted papers to blah blah, and I would just be making up stuff to these agents, like these recruitment consultants, and they'd be like, oh no, I'm getting paid. And then the second I got a bit of cheek off of one of them, I would then go on LinkedIn and I'd find out who their director is. Then I'd message the director, because I had the whole official thing on LinkedIn and that. I'd message the director. Director would phone me and go, it's sorted. It'll be paid by the end of the day. Because I don't want that grief. Yeah. And it was good. It was really good. But there was downsides to it. But that's some of my proudest things for getting people paid.
Nice. Well done.
How they can think they can get away with not paying people.
Wow, do you know what it is? A lot of people. What I found with, gone right off topic here, but what I found with people in the subbing circle is you're only ever a week away from getting paid again, aren't you? So everything is paid weekly when you're subbing for an agency. So say you didn't get paid 1 week, a lot of agency guys don't have like families and homes and stuff like that where they've got a load of outgoings. So it's just like, I need that money, but I get paid again, and then you get paid again, and you get paid again, and then before you know it, it's like something that you can sort of. That's the kind of the feeling I got from it. So agencies would try and ride out the storm until someone had forgotten about it, and here I was, just making sure that they didn't forget that I knew what time it was.
That's bad, isn't it? But that's just the way things are. I know. I've heard stories like that before, so
it's
not fair.
Earn that money, it's their money. You've agreed
to pay it.
See, this is the thing that this is interesting. So I'm now PAYE, right? So I'm on the card to get a salary, and I've got my prescribed hours. Yeah, so I'd say it's 9 hours a day with a lunch break, whatever. What is your guys' opinion on working late but not getting paid for it?
I wouldn't.
I think it depends if it's all the time or if it's every now and then to help the job out. Like, I will always help out, but if it's all the time and you're not getting paid for it, then it's a bit ridiculous.
Yeah, because my thing is, like, I stay late here, and sometimes I'm having this internal dialogue with myself, like, why are you doing that? But I know that there's going to be sometimes where I'm just going home early, and no one's going to say anything because you stayed late. It's a funny old one, that is. But anyway, enough serious subjects. Listen to this. So the other day, I was drunk, and I was drinking my homemade moonshine, and I decided, that I needed to go and cut something with the wrong knife. So I went to the kitchen, I got a knife out, and I was trying to cut this bit of wood with it, and I slipped, and I cut my finger, right? And
it's not a cut.
No, it is. It's like I sliced off a bit. Anyway, it wasn't that bad. It's just a stingy little nasty cut, yeah? It's not that bad. And I was up in the loft, like, for the millionth time. I don't know why my wife has got an obsession with me going up the loft. Anyway, so I was up there, and I caught it again and ripped it. And I was like, oh, that is so bad. And it was bleeding. So I wrapped a bit of tissue around it and then taped around it, right? That was like Saturday or Sunday, maybe. I did that, and I'd left it on for like until just before this podcast. And do you know what I found? I slowly took it off, and my finger stunk so bad.
It's because it's all sweaty and gross. And you're supposed to change bandages like a couple of times a day.
It's bad. It's really bad. I need to wash my hands.
I
Really.
clocked you sniffing your finger earlier, right?
That is just.
You were doing.
Did you wonder what I was doing? I was like, because I was sitting there, I'm like, I can smell it. Oh, listen, it is what it is. What can you
I
say?
won't question it. I'm not going to lie. I just wasn't going to question it.
I got some news. I got an email from YouTube earlier on this morning. I hit 10 million combined views on YouTube.
That's really good.
I know,
That's
Sorry, bro.
really
No, well
fucking
done,
good.
right? Thank you.
Don't
Yeah,
be
it's
so
a bit of a-
sad.
Imagine 10 million people have watched me.
Right, that's not what it means.
We're not included in that. We don't do that.
That's exactly what it means. It's 10 million combined
it
views.
It means your video has been watched 10 million times, not 10 million people.
Well, I would.
Yeah, but it's.
Yeah.
I know.
They've
Is like,
okay. I know, but it just sounds better the other way. But yeah, still,
It's like
That is
10
a lot.
million.
it's like 10,000 people have watched it.
Oh, here we
1,000
go.
times. Is that right? I don't know.
No.
Maths ain't my strong point.
I don't even know.
Oh, is no. 10,000 times.
10.
No, it's not. It's not 10,000. It's 10,000 people watching it 100,000 times.
Yeah, because
No.
it's not. No, 'cause a million would be. Oh.
This is terrible. Cut this, Sam. Jesus.
No. Sam, but what have you been doing, bruv? You haven't been on here for a little while. I think you was on here just before Christmas. What's new? Obviously, you got the new hairdo that's red.
She's got one of them.
No, she's always had that though.
I've always had that.
How have you?
I just changed it to a lightning bolt.
A lightning bolt. Is it Le Spark?
Let me see what. I can't see it.
I can't.
It is a
Does
Le
that not
Spark lightning
really
bolt.
annoy you and get in the way?
No.
She's
No.
one of them. She's one of them alt girls. They love all that sort of stuff. It's weird.
Like a tea bag with all the holes you've got.
Yeah, but he called you a tea bag.
Hey,
You
got
can't-
holes you've got in you. Might as well be
Same
a technic.
way as you called me out last week about saying, "Are you ADHD?" You definitely can't go around calling girls tea bags.
Of course you can. Sam, last week, I don't know if you watched last week's one. We had Jamie on, who was really cool. Like, he was very eccentric, and Sam, like, he was just going off one. Sam goes, "Have you got some form of, ADHD or this?" And I was like, you can't ask someone outright, have they got ADHD?
I got asked on. Well, I went on a first date thing, and I got asked on my date if I had ADHD. I was
Whoa. I know this is an electrician show.
How did the date go?
Yeah, we need to be talking about this way more.
So he was a spark.
no, he was a chippy.
Yeah.
Oh,
He was what? Oh, Chippy, that was it. Yeah.
No, we friend zoned that one.
so
You
hold on.
friends
Where
own
did
that
you
one,
meet him?
he
First of all, where did you meet him? Where is Summer currently hanging out looking for fellas? Tinder,
Facebook
Bumble.
Marketplace.
Bumble, plenty of fish.
No, we're not doing that.
Yeah, we are. The viewers want to know.
No, they want to know. Listen, if you want to date Summer,
Details down below, please. Yeah.
please leave a message below and I will forward it on.
Messages.
Yeah, listen, in the show notes, in the comment section, please leave whether you want to date Summer or not.
And
Sweet.
tell me what date you would take me on.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
What first date? What impression would
Yeah.
you leave? Do you know what I'd do, Sam? So if someone said to me, "Nick, I'll take you on a date," and I'd be like, "Oh, go on, then surprise me." Paintballing. Oh, the best thing in the world to start with.
It's got to be something cool in it.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the last.
Not romantic.
We're
No.
this is
My
the last.
best friend took me on a date the other week, and we went to a rage room.
Who did?
My best friend.
He said, "My best friend." What are you doing with Alex?
Is he
Hang on.
fit? Is he single?
Not single. He's actually going out with my sister-in-law. And they've had a baby, so no, sorry.
Right.
Okay, yeah,
I'm gonna just tell you about the first date that I took. Not my wife. A couple of girls before my wife. Anyway, her name was. I won't tell you her name. She was my hairdresser, and we'd been on and off flirting for a long time. And finally, she agreed to go on a date with me. She blew me out twice. Anyway,
She what? Sorry.
blew me out.
Oh.
Not off. Anyway, so I really wanted to make a good impression. So what I done is I arranged for a Mercedes to pick us up to take us to London. Like a nice cab basically to London, cost a fortune. Then we went to the Ice Bar in London.
Oh yeah.
And then we went dining in the dark. And that was weird.
You couldn't see what you're eating.
No.
I wouldn't like that.
And they gave me the wrong food as well. And I had some fish thing, and I hate fish. Anyway.
Maybe never mind. I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
Went home. No, we went to the Ice Bar afterwards. Went back.
I can see where that
whole
was
date
going.
cost me. I don't know what you two are talking about. How much do you think the date cost me?
Oh.
Sorry? What, the whole day?
The whole day.
£100.
Nearly. Very good. £500 all in. What
That's
an idiot.
impressive, mate. And you didn't wife her up, so wasted.
Yeah, it
Did
was
you
wasted.
swag out of it?
So what did you do for your current wife? Like there's others, there isn't. But what was Amanda's first date?
We met at a pub called the Harrow, which was round the corner from us. So we met on Tinder, went to the pub round the corner from us, the Harrow, and I was like, I don't really want to eat here. Do you want to get some chips? So we went and got chips, and she said, "Can I have a sausage?" And I was like, "Yes, you can."
Yeah. Miniature, okay.
Listen, can we get back to talking about electrical things?
Sorry.
First of all, check out the merch. Come on. Blessed. So, Summer, what have you been working on? Where have you been?
Now you're self-employed. Come on.
I don't really know what I'm allowed to say. I'm on an RAF base.
Oh, listen, right?
It's just us three. You can tell us whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's
What
not
do you mean?
just
I don't know what I can say. You're not working in a top secret outfit. You
but,
say whatever you need to say, bruv.
I'm not allowed to take any photos of things and stuff like that. But no, I'm working on it's an American RAF base, which is pretty cool because all
Wait,
their
that don't
fast
make no
food
sense. An American RAF base.
in England.
Well, no, because it won't be an RAF base, will it? It'll be
not
a
one
US Air Force base.
It's an RAF.
Yeah, it's
In the title, it's RAF.
Where is it?
Okay.
But all their fast food restaurants have the drinks are like the American sized drinks and things like that, which is pretty cool. Bad for me, but it's great.
What are you doing on the job?
I'm just doing containment at the moment. So lots
Are
and
you any
lots
good
of
at containment?
I'm not really good at anything. I'm just
Don't say that. You're very good at dyeing your hair red.
Even though it's meant to be pink. Come on.
I'm
Sorry.
just standard at everything. There's nothing I'm good at.
Don't put
Well,
yourself
this
down
is
like
going
that.
far, isn't it? Anyway.
I'm just doing lots of containment for a warehouse. We're just putting loads of containment in at the minute. So it's like mine and one of the apprentices' job. Like I've got this room and that's my goal to do all of that, which is quite a big project. So it's quite good to do it, to be fair.
Cool story, bro.
Sweet.
Right,
I
Nick,
was
what
about
have
to
you
say
been up
so.
to?
I don't know what I can and can't say what things are for and stuff. So
Oh,
I
listen.
don't want to lose my job.
I'm so thick. Like, honestly, I swear down, you're not going to lose your job saying what you're doing. Like,
Every time Kimmy says
it's not-
something on here, she always gets backlash from whoever it is that she spoke about. So I know that.
Yeah, because what Kimmy says is most of the time highly illegal. That's why.
Yeah, mental.
Did you see her Instagram story the other day?
What?
She did a one where she had a call out or had to do a check. She knocked on the door was open, she walked in, and the state of this apartment that she went in, with knives all
was it
over the bed,
house?
massive kitchen knives all over the bed. Like, it's like it's been unlived in for years, but it was scroggy. And people lived there. And I don't think there was anyone in because the video ended, but she was walking through. You couldn't see the floor. There was just dirt and just, it was awful.
Flat pretty much in there.
Do you know what though? Kimmy's fearless.
Oh, yeah.
She is.
She's fearless. Like, she goes out in like deepest, darkest South London, like on council estates and stuff, South London, tower blocks, the whole lot at 2 o'clock in the morning doing call outs. Fearless.
I was on my phone and her mom went to work with her for a day. And I looked at it, I was like, so I clicked on her mom's tag and I was like, oh, sat next to my other half, went, how do you think how old she is? And she was like, oh, I don't know. I was like, that's Kimmy's mom.
Yeah.
She was like, no.
Kimmy's mom.
No way.
Very attractive.
I said, yeah. And Sam said how fit her mom was one day and didn't realize her mom was in the background listening to everything we were saying.
Her mum's a fan of mine, just so as you're aware.
I can see
we
why.
have a connection. She might like fat men. I don't know. Listen, Kimmy was meant to be on tonight. She blew us out last minute and we had to call in Summer. You know
Sorry.
It's a stand-in.
Everyone else didn't answer their phone, so I had to ring you at the end.
I know.
Oh, I'm so out of order. What have you been doing, Nico?
Just stuff.
Just as excited as me then.
Yeah, we did just stuff today, just boring electrical stuff, nothing worth notifying people or telling people about. What else is interesting? A great deal, really, if I'm being completely honest.
Great deal. Should we end it here?
I'm really sorry, guys. There is nothing exciting that's happened recently other than 10 million views. And I went back to the gym for the first time today in 3 years. So that was fun.
What did you say?
I went back to the gym for the first time in 3 years. It's the first time I rang them up and said, I've still paid my membership. I've been there for 5 years. And then 3 years ago was the last time I went. I rang up and said, is there anything changed, any codes or anything like, with the COVID stuff? I have to book it. She went, no, just come in. You've got to spray everything down. And I walked in. She looked at me like she knew me. I was like, you've never seen me before. But yeah, I went and did what I had to do and then come home. And now my chest and my arms hurt a lot.
Oh.
Monday Clubbers, as I sit here and edit this video, I find that the last half hour is corrupted. And I can't. Every time I try and play it, shuts down the video. Whatever. The last half hour is unavailable. So we'll be back next week. I'm really sorry. Don't know what's going on. Way beyond my skill set. Have a great week. I shall see you next week.